everyone. I thought I would jump on here to talk a little bit more about the National Book Festival, which is on August 22nd, 2026 in Washington, D.C. At the Convention Center. I had the pleasure of attending yesterday, and I've seen a lot of social media discord, and it seems like people are either in two camps. They got into the panels that they wanted and they were perfectly satisfied, or they got the books that they wanted signed and they were happy, or they didn't and it was a big deal and some people were disappointed. And overall, I thought it was a good event. I really did. I think that the Library of Congress did a fantastic job, and if anyone from the Library of Congress is watching, I hope you take that away. This was a really good event. It was just a lot of book lovers in one place, and I thought that made for good energy. The volunteers, amazing. They made the event what it is, in addition to the authors and the speakers and the moderators. I did promise that I would jump on here and share some of the freebies that I got. The ticket was free, so really this is just icing on the cake. But I wanted you to see some of the things that they gave away and give you my thoughts on it. So starting with the tote bag. So when you walked in, there was an information booth and they were giving out the official poster of the festival, which I also grabbed and I will show you, as well as tote bags. And the tote bags came in red, white, and blue in honor of the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. And so I got the white one, and this is what it looks like. It's cute. It's very graphic and just text. It's simple text on this side that says Library of Congress National Book Festival. And then on the other side, it just says Book TV, because that was the co-sponsor. C-SPAN Book TV was the other kind of major co-sponsor of this event. So what I loved about it was that, it's a tote bag. We all know what a tote bag is. It does have Velcro, so that's kind of nice when I need to carry stuff and I don't want it to all fall out. It's a nice little touch. I will also say, I think it was unintentional, but the tote bag is the exact width of a rolled up poster. So you could easily put your poster in the bottom of the bag and not get it crushed. So I love that. I do think, and this is controversial, I do think that maybe in the future they should think about more eco-friendly options. I think we are in a bit of a climate crisis, and having tote bags upon tote bags, especially if this is quality where it can't really break down, maybe something to think about for next year. Perhaps instead of a tote bag, have a different option of a souvenir. So in the tote bag, I managed to pack quite a few things in it. I'm going to show you. So first is the poster. I have not unrolled it. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I did get a different thing, but it's a nice, beautiful poster. The visuals feel a little bit retro, and the colors are very, very vibrant and saturated. And this is what it looks like. I feel like it has a vintage look to it. Hopefully y'all can see that. And this is the program that also came with it. Both are kind of glossy in texture. And if you open the program, it has the map, and then it has the entire program in it. So I thought that was cool. If anybody that is in charge of this event is watching this video for next year, consider making this a matte finish so that people can bring Sharpies and, maybe get author signatures next to every panel when they're in the signature line, so they have like a really nice souvenir book to take with them. So just a feedback. That's just my 2 cents. If you disagree, you should totally leave a comment. It also has all the sponsors on the back. So there's a QR code if you want to download your own version. You can just pause this and take a screenshot, and there it is. There's also a survey, by the way. I just wanted to mention that there is a survey that the Library of Congress has been circulating online for people who went to the festival to give honest feedback, because that's how they make things better. I did fill it out, and I did include my name and my email address, so who knows, maybe they'll get in touch with me, and I can give them thoughts for next year. As far as the panels, I will say I did not get into as many as I would have liked. I only got into one. It was phenomenal, and I'm so glad that I got to listen to it. It was Food, Nature, and Our American Legacy with Nephi Craig and Beronda L. Montgomery. I will run to get their books. I will not walk. I will run to get their books because it was such an incredible, thoughtful discussion about food sources and, indigenous food sources from, Black enslaved peoples and ancestors, and how that has shaped modern day America and the legacy of what people can and can't access as far as food nowadays. And that's a really pertinent and prescient conversation that people are having now. So highly recommend those 2 books. I will put them in the comments below if that is helpful. So, okay, what else did I get? So the poster I showed you, there was a section at the top of the festival where there was an exhibit hall, and they had, they were celebrating all 50 states. So there was one table for every state, plus DC, plus Puerto Rico. And all of these organizations had their, literacy and their, reading orgs in the state. And they were there answering questions and just talking to people. They also gave out this really cute roadmap. It was called, I don't know what you would call it. I guess it's just a map of the United States. Which is really cool. It had stamps that you could collect at every single place. And at the end of the, thing, you'd have a really cool thing to take home. This is what I hope that the program is next year, with space for author signatures. I think that would be so cool. I didn't do the stamps. Unfortunately, I was a little bit pressed for time, but now I have a nice map to maybe color in all the places that I've been in America. Who knows? Also on this resource is a really great reading list. It's 50 states, 50 books. Actually, it's more because it does have the Virgin Islands. It has Puerto Rico. It has DC. It has reads for kids and reads for adults. Again, I will drop I'll put the QR code. You can feel free to pause and maybe try to screenshot that or look at the website. I think this is a great resource for people on book circles, because one, it gives us a great reading list on everything across America if we're interested in that. And 2, if you're, a student or a parent that's maybe trying to get your kid to read from all over the country, this is an amazing built-in list. I will shamelessly plug my own United States of Diverse Reading post, which if you scroll down on my account page, you'll find that as well. So, so I really liked it. I think this is exactly what would be cool. I would also say it would be amazing if maybe next year's poster was this size, and maybe make it smaller and have it be foldable, and so that, less waste. People can tuck it in their pocket, and it's, easy to run with. I also got, we also stopped at the preservation desk. So the Library of Congress also had many of their departments set up to learn more about, how that works, and how the Library of Congress actually is a resource for all Americans. And they had a little trivia contest, and I did get this very cute little poster, and it's about how you can, be kind and take care of your books. And again, in this day and age, with books being destroyed and books being banned, it's good to know how to take care of your home library. So, cute little resource, and I thought this was very cute. I also stopped at the Fashion Institute within the Library of Congress, and they had some really cute things. They have very cute bookmark. I am a sucker for a bookmark, so I think this was fun. It says fashion. Again, another QR code. If you want to check that out, go for it. Along with that, there was a very cool mini booklet, the history of fashion in America. And I think in addition to just fashion, it talked about just fabrics and sourcing of fabrics, and kind of who was part of that weaving, if you excuse the pun, of that culture. And all of that. So, there's beautiful little pictures in it, and so you can learn more about how the United States fashion and trends and just international influences, indigenous influences, all of the different kind of styles throughout the ages. I think it's a really cool little booklet. So I will keep this, and I do plan to read some of these things and kind of get into it. And then they gave us this very cute little burlap tote, which I think I might just, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Again, I think you should retire the totes, folks. I think we're over consuming things, and I'm sorry, but I may give this as a gift, and put some food or snacks in it or something fashionable. I don't know. You tell me. Leave me a comment and tell me what to do with this. So that's what I got. I also stopped at the gift shop and bought this as a gift for a friend. It is their official tote bag, and it's cute. It's navy blue, and it has the official image on it. So it was only $6, which I think is a pretty good deal, and I think I can keep books in it, and I will feel really happy. So that's what I got. I wanted to just give another shout out to all of the people that made this event possible. I know I've worked in government for over a decade, and I know how long it is to create spaces where the public can feel safe, feel welcome, and I think they did a really good job. Even though the crowds were enormous, I never really felt uncomfortable. I know that people certainly, I don't think they accommodated people with living with disabilities as well. I definitely saw many people that were just tired and sore from standing in line for a really long time. So I hope that they, maybe figure that out. One way to do that is to just hopefully clear out the rooms between sessions so that there's an equitable way for people to get in. There's also a downstairs area with the book sales and the signing room. It would be great if they turned the space between those areas into an overflow replay so that you could still maybe catch some of the bigger panels if you were unable to get in. It's a huge, I think there were maybe 50,000 people there, and the convention center can certainly hold that many people, but whether or not I think it made sense to have that much there would be, I don't know. I know that the internet is kind of split on this, so if you attended, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. As far as panels, I thought the panels that I did attend were fascinating and interesting. I would love to see more author discussions. It would be very cool next year to have a panel on having two notable authors discuss classic literature and what makes a classic, and modern classics that are now kind of making their way, that are in the mainstream that maybe 100 years from now the people at the National Book Festival will be celebrating. That would be cool. I would love to also know about illustration. I know there were some panels and there was some space in the exhibit hall about that, but it would be interesting to just see how books come together. I will say I did notice that there were not that many publishers that were present, and I did. That was a notable absence, given that this is a book festival, and I guess I just assumed it was similar to other book festivals where there are publishers that sell their books at tables. I know they had an independent bookstore that was kind of the official bookstore of the event, and they did a great job, and the lines were so long, but they were moving like lightning. So kudos to Politics and Prose for that, and being able to handle that level of I guess crowds. I'm sure that those people were exhausted at the end of the day. So, great job to them. I thought the people were really nice. And like I said, the volunteers are what made the event. And I hope that next year they just iron out some of the more, details as far as getting in line and getting to attend panels. I will say, if you have access to the internet, the replays are available online, and I think they're worth it. I really think the one that I attended about food and nature and American legacy, so worth your time, because after the panel questions, people were asking really thoughtful questions, and this this is the mark of having a room full of readers where they're curious and interested. So I really overall enjoyed it. I thought everybody did their best. They were also competing against another large-scale event in Washington, D.C. There's a race going on. I think it's Formula One. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's a Freedom 250 race. And that was a big, kind of traffic blockage in the city. And, I still think the turnout here was really good. And this event was executed really well. So I'm going to wrap it up because I don't have any more swag to show you. And I'm kind of sorry that I didn't take more. Maybe next year. If you have any comments or questions, just drop them below. I'm going to save this as a video, and would love if you come across this later on for you to leave a suggestion on how to make this event better. I know there's been a lot of talk about moving this to 2 days. I don't know if that's feasible. I can't speak for the Library of Congress, but I do imagine that in this day and age with budget cuts and decentralized attention to things like the Library of Congress, I'm not sure that they can get the sponsorship to put on such an expensive event 2 days in a row with all of the audio visual. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would love for somebody from the Library of Congress to get in and give us the behind the scenes. That would be amazing. But I don't think that's possible. So I think other solutions would just be to, encourage people to kind of move from space to space, create a more accessible area for people that have mobility, vision, hearing considerations. I'm not sure that was there. It wasn't obvious to me. If it was, maybe those people were very well taken care of and it was fine, but it wasn't super obvious. So I would love to see more intentional visibility around that. And then I think we should all just remember that this is for the joy of reading, and this is to support the Library of Congress. And I think that's just the long-term goal that we should keep in mind and have our eyes on that prize and just kind of go with the flow as far as getting into panels and signing sessions. This isn't BookCon or Comic-Con, and so it's a little bit of go with the flow, and everybody just take a deep breath and just enjoy the moment and enjoy being around readers and people who want to uplift storytelling in all of those forms. So I would love to hear more about other people's experiences at the National Book Festival. That would be my ideal. If you have thoughts and if you have questions, certainly leave them below, and I am going to try to answer them. I will stay on a couple seconds more. I'm seeing some people have joined, and so I thought, if you have any feedback that the event organizers could take away, I will share them here, and then they'll be locked in online forever. So, yes, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to see that many Bookstagram people. I guess I spaced. I didn't really think through the logistics of the day that carefully. I just sort of said, I'm just going to hop on a train and come to Washington, D.C. for this event. And I hadn't been since it used to be hosted on the National Mall, so this was a very new and different environment for me. I did overall enjoy it. I really don't have anything bad to say. I think just the small logistics that would need to be ironed out a little bit more. And I don't know. I really, I keep coming back to this program. I would love for them to just retire the poster. I know that is the most controversial thing I can say because the poster is so long-standing, but maybe consider retiring the poster or making it the back of this program. Just try to take into account the amount of paper and the amount of just waste that this event is creating. And I know it's not really waste, but at the same time, I can't help but think that there are places where we as readers and as quote unquote consumers of stuff could maybe be more thoughtful about not taking so much stuff. But yeah, that's what I would say about that. I will say another good thing that I thought, the panels were incredibly diverse. You know, I didn't feel as though there was one genre that was dominating. I didn't feel like there was one age group that was overrepresented. I thought that they did great kind of setups for kids, for middle grade readers, to YA readers, to adult readers. So I do think whoever put together the program did give it so much good thought. And I thought that was really, it's nice when they include all kinds of readers, right? Young readers that might go and get a book signed by their favorite author, might become a reader for life. And, you know, one of the themes that I was hearing throughout the day was this, you know, the quote unquote literacy crisis, the literacy crisis. And, you know, it's hard in a room full of readers to kind of absorb that, you know, because what do you mean there's a literacy crisis? Everybody is reading, but we know that that's true. We know that there is a literacy crisis, and I think organizations like the Library of Congress, your local libraries, your local reading organizations, which again, I do think having this roadmap, and if you go to this QR code, you can learn more about all of those orgs and the Institute of, you know, the Museum and Library Services. They do great work, and I think if we're going to decide as a collective that we want books to exist in the formats that they do, we have to do the work. We have to jump in as well and be part of that solution by supporting these organizations that are doing the work, right? So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I am going to wrap it up because I think I have said all that I can say. I hope that that everybody that did go had a great time, and I hope that you did feel the energy of, you know, people who support and uplift literacy just the way I did. And even if you didn't get into all of the panels or signings that you wanted, you didn't walk away too disappointed. So I that is my hope for you, and I hope that next year this is even better. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.